Murder cases that are just too cold for the world. These murders will really creep you out? Let's find out. Murders are something that is talked about so often now that people see it as an everyday thing so much so that people have forgotten about some of the worst cases that went unresolved. For today's video, we are going to be talking about some of the coldest cases ever. So without further ado, let's dive right in. 8. Kansas. In 1970, 12-year-old Kelly Lynn Albright went missing and was found dead in a field in Reno County. First up on our list, we have a case from Kansas. Kelly Lynn Albright was discovered dead in a field 4 days after she vanished from her family's house. She had had 18 stab wounds in addition to sexual assault. Glenn Davis, a close family friend, was suspected of carrying out the murder, although there was only circumstantial evidence against him. He passed away in prison in 1995 after being found guilty of serious indecent liberties with a kid in a separate case, preventing officials from questioning him once more about Albright. 7. Idaho. Between 1979 and 1982, 5 murders and disappearances were linked to a single unknown person. The next case on our list took place in Idaho. A string of killings and disappearances that occurred between 1979 and 1982 in the Lewiston-Clarkson metropolitan area, a region on the Idaho-Washington border, are still unsolved. Only the bodies of Christina Nelson, Jacqueline Brandy Miller, and Kirsten David were discovered among the 5 missing persons. Both Christina White and Stephen Pearsall are still missing. 6. Georgia. Vanessa Honey Malone was shot while visiting her friend's apartment in Stone Mountain in 2012. The next case on our list is from Georgia. In 2012, 18-year-old Vanessa Honey Malone informed her mother Flora that she was leaving after a long day at work. Shortly later, Flora heard gunfire from an adjacent apartment building and contacted Vanessa to check on her. She opted not to answer the phone. 2 of Vanessa's friends who were residing in the flat where she was slain said they were held captive during an armed robbery and were tied up and kept in the toilet. Her family runs a Facebook page to ask the public for information, and Dateline NBC covered the cold case. In April 2020, someone was arrested, although there were probably more persons involved. 5. Delaware. J. Murray Pritchard was found dead in Blackbird State Forest in 1986. The next case on our list took place in Delaware. Pritchard was working toward a master's degree in botany at the University of Maryland and frequently visited Blackbird State Forest for her studies. But at about 10 a.m. on September 19, 1986, her thorough notes came to an end. The following day, she was discovered half-dressed and shot in the back. Although hunters frequently visit the region, her death was determined to be a homicide. A squirrel hunter was detained and interrogated. However, DNA evidence cleared him in 1987. In 2015, the case was given a second look by the Newcastle County Police Department's Cold Case Squad, but nothing has changed since then. 4. Connecticut. Mary Badaracco disappeared from Sherman in 1984 under suspicious circumstances. The next case on our list is from Connecticut. On August 19, 1984, Mary Badaracco vanished. Her wedding ring and vehicle keys were left on the kitchen counter, and her car was abandoned in the driveway with the driver's side bashed in. Dominic, her husband, disclosed to law enforcement that the couple had been discussing a divorce and that Mary had left with $100,000 in return for their house. Dominic didn't report her missing, and no traces of the money have ever been discovered. Although Mary's death was allegedly the result of a Hells Angels hit in 1985, the investigation is still ongoing. 3. Colorado. 6-year-old pageant queen John Bennett Ramsey was found dead in her family's home in Boulder in 1996. The next case on our list took place in Colorado. On December 26, 1996, John Bennett Ramsey's body was discovered in the basement of her family's residence. She was wearing her favorite pageant nightgown and had cords over her right wrist and neck. Additionally, her parents found a ransom note demanding $118,000. Her parents, John and Patsy Ramsey, were first thought to be involved in the crime. But DNA testing done on some of JonBenet's underwear in 2003 revealed the participation of two unrelated individuals. In 2006, John Mark Coher admitted to the murder, but his confession was later found to be fraudulent since he was unable to provide any further information, and because his DNA did not match that found at the scene. The lawsuit is still pending. 2. Alabama. Sherry Lynn Marlar went missing from Greenville in 1984. Next up on our list, we have a case from Alabama. Sherry Lynn Marlar, a 12-year-old resident of Greenville, traveled into town with her stepfather on June 6, 1984, to conduct errands. He handed her $1 to use to purchase a beverage from a vending machine, while he went to the bank to sign some paperwork, telling her to meet him back at his truck in 15 minutes. Since then, she has not been seen. 1. Arkansas. Morgan Nick disappeared from an Alma ballpark in 1995. Last but not least, we have a case that took place in Arkansas. 6-year-old Morgan Nick was seen on June 9, 1995, for the last time at a ballpark in Alma, Arkansas. An unknown man driving away in a red truck who was seen around the same time Nick disappeared was considered a suspect. But after innumerable leads, authorities are no closer to finding her. Nick's family created the Morgan Nick Foundation to provide immediate assistance to families of missing children. The Arkansas Alert System is also named in honor of Nick. Anyway, this wraps up our video for today. What do you think about this? Let us know in the comments section down below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.